and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect.
Mike,
people used to look at him and say, oh, this guy is going to be the star of boxing. It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Yeah. Did you think you was really going to beat him up that way?
Yes. I've been told you this. I told you this a minute ago. I said he's not on my level.
Max Kellerman left no room for debate. He said Shakur Stevenson didn't just win, he delivered a historic masterclass. Max compared the performance to the greats, even Floyd Mayweather, saying the sweet science is still boxing's most deadly weapon. For Kellerman, this wasn't hype. It was the start of a new era.
The truth is, I know what you mean, that Teo was a lights-out puncher at 135 pounds. Once he moved up to 140, it was much more of the footwork and hit you with punches you don't see and win on points than it was the destructive guy at the lighter weight. Terrence Crawford, guys, posted the following on his social media. Okay, quote, I don't know it all, but what I do know is Shakur Stevenson beating the bleep out of Teofimo Lopez. Now, Shakur Stevenson might box the bleep out of guys. He doesn't really beat the bleep out of anybody. Well, what do we think of that?
What made Max's reaction shocking is that he didn't expect this at all. Before the fight, Kellerman warned fans that Teofimo Lopez was a serious threat. He talked about Teofimo's power and his big wins against fighters like Lomachenko. But once the final bell rang, Max completely flipped his stance. Live on air, he admitted he was wrong, not because Teofimo was bad, but because Shakur never let him fight.
You seem to make it look real easy tonight. It was, it had to be very frustrating for T.O.
Keyshawn, after party.
Why do you think it was difficult for T.O. to make adjustments to you? Like, why?
Why? I think that, I studied them. I've been watching them for years. I seen T.O. when we was in the amateurs. Everything that I seen was there tonight. Like the things that I kind of saw on tape and on film, it was all in front of me tonight. And there is benefits from watching tape.
When we saw Conor being in the ring with you and the idea of you two fighting, for British fans, it would come as a bit of a curveball. You now have 4 different weight world titles and Conor's not boxed for a world title yet. What's going on between you two? Why is that a fight that you like?
I'm into big fights. I like big fights. I like big money fights. I like proving that I'm the best, and I like doing things that people say I can't do. There's a lot of people that will say that I'm too little for Conor Ben, and I can't do it. So it makes for a tremendous fight.
And Eddie mentioned that there's quite a few that DMs go back and forth between you two. Is it all amicable? Is there a bit of aggro going on?
It's gonna be a good beef. I like the beef. I like the story behind it, and it's a tremendous fight.
This wasn't Shakur surviving danger. This was Shakur removing danger. Max said it was a technical dismantling that made an elite champion look helpless. He realized the key factor he underestimated was Shakur's ability to neutralize opponents. Against Shakur, weapons don't just miss, they disappear. By the second round, the threat everyone feared was already gone.
Teofimo Lopez did not have any answer for the lead hand, the jab of Shakur Stevenson. And even before the fight started, you saw Teo come out with the, Jabberwockies, and he was doing a lot of, dancing. And on his face, though, you didn't see kind of the joy and the happy and the smirk that you saw yesterday at the weigh-ins. There was a lot of mind games all week from Teo to Shakur, making him wait, trying to get in his head. It looked like he kind of did at the press conference, but like I've said many times, the press conference does not have any effect on the fight itself, right? The best fighters will show up when the time comes. They'll adjust. They'll be able to showcase why they're the best. And tonight, Shakur looked a lot more comfortable even in his ring walk, let alone when the fight started. But when it did start, you saw very quickly 2 things. Teofimo Lopez is going to have real problems with the hand speed of Shakur Stevenson, his lead hand, and that Teofimo wanted 2 really specific things early in this fight. Number 1, he clearly wanted to land his big right hand over the top. And again, it was off of 1 or 2 punches, then switch to southpaw and try to land the left hand while covering distance. And it was I won't say basic attack, but it was a fundamental problem with that attack from Teofimo Lopez. He was having real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away, or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur was taking the outside track. Teo was stepping on the inside lane and then fading to his right side, right into the left hand of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, in the first round, Shakur didn't really even throw a backhand. It was just jab. And every time he would touch him with the jab, Teo had to reset and reset.
That's where Stephen A. Smith pushed back. While Max praised the technical brilliance, Stephen A. focused on entertainment. To casual fans, a fight where one guy barely gets hit can feel slow or boring. Stephen A. spoke for that audience. But Max stood firm. He said this was the highest level of boxing possible. Shutting down a dangerous puncher so badly that he's scared to throw is more impressive than a lucky knockout. Max's message was simple: if this bored you, you weren't really watching.
The guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought out that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what it was.
Things got even deeper when Max sat down.
The breakdown went even deeper when Max sat down with Roy Jones Jr. This wasn't about speed anymore, it was about the mind. Roy explained that Shakur wasn't just faster physically, he was thinking faster. Every twitch, every movement from Teofimo was already being read and answered before it could happen.
One of the big problems coming into this fight that you wondered was, William Zepeda didn't really give Shakur trouble. In my mind, I was there live watching that fight, and Shakur kind of handled all that adversity from William Zepeda. Handled a lot of adversity there. But the difference in that fight and this one was Zepeda was there with combination punching, right? He wouldn't just throw 1 or 2 punches at a time. He would throw 3, 4, and 5. And maybe once in a blue moon, a couple would get through and Shakur might get touched with something that you usually don't see him get hit with. Teofimo Lopez doesn't fight like that. He fights very selective on the front foot and the back foot. And again, Teo's probably a better back foot fighter than he is a front foot fighter. But he wanted to come out early and make a statement, so he was trying to bring it to Shakur. I think he gave up a little bit of his game too quickly, because in the first round, Teo was throwing heavy right hands over the top. Then that double right hand switched to go to the left hand out of southpaw, and Shakur saw it all early. And if you hear, some of the post-fight stuff, Shakur was like, I thought he was fast, and he wasn't. Shakur was like, he was way slower than I thought. Teo was reaching a lot. Teo was overstriding a lot. He wasn't bringing his feet with him, and it made it easier for Shakur. He would just frame with his lead hand, keep the distance, which he does such a good job of. If you move forward, he moves back. You cut an angle, he cuts an angle, right? He just mirrors what you do. And the moment you make a mistake or overcommit, he touches you with the lead hand. That's first line of defense. You get past that, hold the left hand behind it. Shakur was schooling him. And again, I said it in a half of the stream, I was just like, oh no, this is going to go very badly for Teofimo Lopez. And it did, man. It's just round after round, Teo could not figure out this equation, could not get past the lead hand of Shakur Stevenson. And there were moments where it wasn't just the jab of Shakur, he was sticking the left hand on him. And no, Shakur doesn't have the biggest power in the world, and no, he may not be the most casual audience friendly fighter, but he is damn good as a boxer. And he is, I don't want to say Floyd Mayweather-esque, but it's the same formula. When you watch him box, you may not like his style, you may not like that he doesn't sting and punish people the way you would want to see somebody counterpunch. But I don't know, there's a style that beats it.
When life comes at you, it'll come at you in many ways. And you gotta treat it like a champ. That's it. You gotta treat it like a champ. Tell yourself, it's okay. I learned from it and I treat it like a champ every time. So if you're going through hard times in your life, whether it's from any sports or academics or anything like that, it's okay. You're still a champ.
Throughout watching the fight week, a lot of people were saying that you were in Shakur's head. Yeah, it definitely seemed like that. Do you think maybe there was a chance that you maybe used up too much energy in the build up to the fight?
No, not at all. I think honestly, it's just the way things played out, the cards that were at hand. The dealer, I was gambling, and the dealer didn't play my cards right. That's all.
Talk to me about the fight itself. Just what was it like in there? How come you didn't really feel like you could get into the rhythm as such? I mean, just your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think I was just honestly too focused on one particular objective, one particular thing, than really enjoying what I could see opening. You know, I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot. So I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff. I did poorly on not listening to my team. That's on me. Take it on the chin, you know. My team did a phenomenal job. They had great guidelines. They had great instructions. I just didn't listen.